Hello, dear ones. Welcome to our all levels donation yoga. This is a very sacred space for our community and for our studio here at Practice Indie. And we really believe in the power of our impact, both within ourselves and in our lives and in our individual choices, as well as how we influence and impact our communities and ripple out from there into impacting the world. So we encourage you with this donation yoga flow to give to any areas that feel resonant for you, whether that's a specific cause or organization, or whether that's just someone in your life or in your community that you know needs support in this moment. And we'd love to know those. So if you do donate and choose to give to another space, we'd love for you to drop that in the comments and share with us your influence and circles of impact. And as we get started today, so this is going to be a 60-minute all levels flow. If you have a couple of blocks, or instead you can use some hardback books if you like. We will use them. They're not entirely necessary if you don't have them handy. I'll give you some options to flow without as well, but they can be handy if you have them. And the other thing I'll recommend is simply to have a blanket and anything else that really helps you feel comfortable in your practice. But those are the props that we'll actually utilize throughout our practice today. So feeling free to get any props that you need, feeling free to get set up. I'm going to drop a playlist in the chat if you would like some music on in the background. There we go. And so you can go ahead and hit play now, and we'll begin on our mats, coming to an easy seated position, Sukhasana. We're going to simply just come to seated on our mats, coming to a gentle cross of the legs, moving the flesh out from underneath the sits bones, growing tall through the spine, inhaling fully, inviting the breath deep down into the body, letting the eyes close or the gaze soften. Breathing in through the nose, inviting the breath down into the lungs and the chest, deep down into the belly, into the diaphragm, breathing even into the pelvic bowl, into the root. And as you exhale, allow yourself to release and let go. To settle into the support of your body. To feel the support of your mat beneath you and the earth below that. To remember that even in this breath, we are connected and supported and safe. This week at the studio, we've been focusing on this element of madhyama, which in Buddhism means the middle way. And so we have these play of extremes in life, sometimes of total indulgence or intensity, sometimes of a denial of those indulgences, this element of void. And that really the lived truth in our experience lies somewhere in the middle. As I've been sitting with this theme and this idea and this unfolding awareness of madhyama, I've been very aware of how politically and ideologically divided our country is in this moment. That we seem to have these very vocal extremes and very little interconnection between them. And also, as I look around at some of these very big, important issues being discussed and argued and brought attention to, I also recognize that sometimes when we come from prejudice and bias, when we come from elements of really deep oppression, sometimes the pendulum has to swing completely in the other direction. But ultimately, it will eventually land back in the center, in this element of union. And no matter where the pendulum is, there are valid things to listen to within each of the perspectives. And again, ultimately, we grow toward this center point of unity. So even though I can't see resolution or figure all the things out that are complex and powerful and moving in this moment, I can know and trust that union is where we're all headed. And that we can see it even here and now, despite how loud and noisy the extremes might be. So I invite you to take 3 deep breaths and just feel how it feels to breathe and be in your body, right where you are. And to know that this breath, this heartbeat is enough for right here and now. Taking one more deep, full breath in, pausing at the top of the breath, sipping in even deeper, filling up, and as you exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Fluttering the eyes open, we're going to come down to lie on our backs. If you like, you can have the support of the blanket underneath your hips or not, yogi's choice. Perhaps paying attention to how you're practicing. If you're on a hard surface and need some extra support, now is a beautiful opportunity to get that for yourself. As you come to lying on your back, take a moment really here to feel the back of your head supported by your mat. To feel the soles of your feet planted on the earth. To notice the shoulder blades and perhaps slide each of them down the back, really opening through the chest and the heart. Again, feeling a deep, full breath here. And as you exhale, hugging the knees into the chest. Bringing the hands to the kneecaps. Begin to draw a circle to the left with your knees, as if you're drawing a big circle on the ceiling. Just exploring the depth and the capacity of your hips here. Breathing in fully. Exhaling long. Letting your movement be slow and intentional. It's not a rush to see how many circles you can do, but moving through and feeling the sensation, feeling the different parts of your low back and sacrum and tailbone that connect with the earth as you move through your circles. Feeling the openness and capacity within your hips and your pelvis. Switch directions here. Notice how it feels to move and breathe deep at the same time. Oftentimes when we get really involved in movement, sometimes we lose that connection to our breath. Finishing a final round here, hugging the knees into the chest. And bringing the hands down by your side. Bring your knees to 90 degrees. We're coming into a reverse tabletop here. So if we were on the ground, bringing the palms up to the sky, we would be like we were in tabletop here. Inhale, extend the right hand overhead and the left foot out long. As you exhale, bring knee and nose together. Then coming back to that tabletop position. Inhale, extend the left arm and the right leg. As you exhale, knee and nose connect. Coming back to that tabletop. Inhale, extend right hand, left foot. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend left arm and right leg. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more time, each side, following your breath. Inhale to extend, exhale to connect. Beautiful. Coming back to that tabletop position. Bringing the soles of your feet to the earth. Once again, connecting with those shoulder blades and drawing the shoulder blades down the back, really opening through the chest and the heart. If you have a block handy or a book, you could use a hardback book instead. Bring the block long ways between thighs. So it's shortest setting. It's just creating engagement between the thighs. Bring your hands down by your sides, palms facing the earth. As you inhale, drawing the hips up towards the sky, squeezing, engaging that block between the legs. As you exhale, lower vertebrae by vertebrae. Pause for one round of breath here. Just feeling how it feels to fill your belly and to let yourself release with the breath. With your next inhale, extend the hips up to the sky, bringing the hands to clasp underneath the low back if that serves you. Drawing down through the arms, opening through the chest. With your next exhale, releasing the hands out to either side, lowering vertebrae by vertebrae. Pausing for one round of breath here. If you notice that your feet are starting to slip forward, you can walk your heels back closer to your hips. With your next inhale, lifting those hips to the sky, taking the bind if you like, and if you like, lifting the heels off the earth. Inhale, see if you can lift those hips just a little higher. And as you exhale, release the bind. Start to lower the hips vertebrae by vertebrae. You can keep the heels lifted if you like, or eventually bring them to close. Beautiful. Remove the block between your legs and set it just up out of the way. Hugging the knees into the chest, rocking a little from side to side, feeling that sacrum rooted to the earth. As you exhale, let the legs fall over to the right, keeping your shoulders connected to your mat, letting your arms go wide or cactusing through the arms. Gaze can go to the sky or towards the left. Letting your breath be full and deep here. Letting your exhalation be long. With your next exhale, bringing your legs back through center, rocking a little from side to side once again, and then allowing your legs to fall over to the left. Opening through the chest, twisting through the spine, feeling the flow of breath, the pulse of life within you. Taking one more full breath in. As you exhale, bringing the legs back to center, returning your soles of the feet to your mat, finding your block once again, placing it between the thighs. Going to move through that 3 bridge flow one more time. So Planting your arms, sliding the shoulder blades down the back, really opening through the chest first. Bringing those heels really close to the hips. Inhale, extend the hips towards the sky, keeping those knees and legs engaging to one another. As you exhale, gently returning back to the earth, really cycling down vertebrae by vertebrae. Feeling through one round of breath here. And as you inhale, raising those hips to the sky, bringing the hands to clasp underneath if that serves. Once you find that level of engagement, see if you can lift the hips even higher. Your next exhale, releasing the bind, lowering down vertebrae by vertebrae, and breathing through one round of breath. Inhale, hips go to the sky, finding your level of expression if you want to take the bind. And if you want to go even deeper, lifting the heels as you lift the hips. As you exhale, release the bind, lowering the hips down, eventually bring the heels back to the earth, removing the block from between your legs, setting it aside. Hugging the knees into the chest, rocking a little from side to side. Then inviting the knees into the armpits, bring your hands to either your ankles or the outer edges of your feet, opening into a happy baby. Coming into this deep hip opener, letting this be playful, maybe straightening through one leg, then the other, maybe rocking from side to side, maybe letting go of movement and simply allowing gravity to do the work here. Letting the breath be full and deep, letting the exhalation be long. 2 more rounds of breath here. Your final exhale, sighing out the mouth as you bring the knees into the chest. Begin to rock and roll long along the spine, just letting your spine massage into your mat. Eventually bringing yourself gently to seated. We're going to shift around, coming into a tabletop position here. So planting the knees underneath the hips, the palms underneath the shoulders. If you do have a couple of blocks or books handy, we are going to elevate our grasp on the mat by simply laying the blocks on their flattest setting and bringing our hands to plant, keeping some width between the fingers, but planting them underneath the shoulders, just giving yourself a little more spaciousness. Drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. As you exhale, pressing round through the shoulders. Into a little cat-cow flow. Inhale, tailbone, crown of the head, go to the sky. As you exhale, bringing the heart to the spine, tucking through the tailbone. One more round of breath following your flow. Coming back to that neutral spine, we're going to build on that cat-cow flow. So on the inhalation, we drop the belly, lift the gaze. As we exhale, we press in round through the shoulders and then bring the hips back to the heels. Inhale, chest comes forward as we hollow out through the low back. Exhale, pressing and rounding through the shoulders, hollowing through the belly, hips go to the heels. So we come into this little cat-cow child's pose flow. Following the breath through the depth of your breath. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you go back. Two more rounds just like this. articulating through the spine, through the shoulders, through the hips. And coming back to that neutral spine, we're going to just shift the blocks out of the way. Let the knees go wide on the mat. Let the hips sink back to the heels, coming into a child's pose. Flip your palms to the sky. Give a little release to the wrists. Let the heart melt to the ground. Letting yourself be held here. Listening to and feeling the flow of your breath. With your next exhalation, inch the hands over to the right edge of your mat. Feeling deeply into the left side body. As the breath flows in, noticing the ribs expand and open. With your next exhale, inching the hands over to the left edge of the mat. Feeling through the arc of the right side body. Your next exhale, coming back to the center. Taking a full deep breath in and a big sigh out the mouth. Finding your way back to that tabletop position. Bringing the knees back underneath the hips. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, coming to a downward facing dog. We're going to take the opportunity to really invite some movement here as we begin to open. So maybe we pedal out through the feet. Maybe we shift the heart from side to side, opening through the chest and the shoulders, bringing the hips from side to side. Just exploring movement here for you. And then releasing those opening gestures. Bring the hips towards the back of your mat, really opening through the chest and growing from your tailbone through to your fingertips. With your next exhale, gaze comes forward as you begin to tiptoe forward, bringing the feet to plant behind your hands, coming into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, palms go to the shins, growing tall from tailbone through crown of the head. As you exhale, micro bend through the knees as you forward fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms come to connect. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Taking the opportunity here to shift your weight from side to side, to feel your feet connected to the earth, to your mat. Finding that place where your weight is distributed between all four corners of your feet. Inhale, circling the arms up overhead. As you exhale, hands flow through heart center as you bow forward, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Heel toe the feet out just a little bit wider, letting the toes point to the corners of your mat. Sink your hips down, coming into a yogi squat malasana. So take the opportunity here, much like we did in that happy baby, to feel into movement for you here. So maybe we're shifting from side to side. Maybe we're planting the palms in front of us and shifting the weight forward and shifting the weight back. Noticing what parts of your feet are supporting your weight. Taking one more deep, full inhalation here. And as you exhale, bring the hips back to the sky. Heel toe the feet back into that forward fold. Plant the hands, step back, plank pose. If you like, you can bring your knees to the ground to give yourself more support. Inhale, pull the low belly to the spine as you exhale, lowering with control, hugging in those elbows. Inhale, lifting the head, chest, and heart, coming into a cobra position. As you exhale, nose goes back to the mat. As you tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, down dog. Inhale to fullness. As you exhale, stepping forward, coming into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Really extending through the spine as you exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up the arms to the sky, pressing through the palms, lifting through the fingertips. As you exhale, hands go to the heart, bowing forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Heel toe those feet out wide yet again. Sink those hips down, Malasana Yogi Squat. If you have one of your blocks here, you can set it in front of you, bringing your left hand to plant, extending right hand up to the sky, coming into a little twist. As you exhale, returning to center, planting the right palm on the block, extending left fingertips up to the sky. As you exhale, releasing that, setting the block aside, plant the palms, lift the hips up and back, coming into that forward fold. Plant the palms, step back, plank pose. And as you exhale, bring your knees to the mat. Planting the left palm underneath the left shoulder. Stepping back with the right foot, extend right fingertips up overhead. And you can kickstand out with that left foot if you like, coming into a supported side plank. Fingers can continue to point to the sky, or you can extend that right hand overhead. One more deep, full inhale. As you exhale, coming back to that tabletop position, stepping back to plank pose. Inhale for fullness, exhale, lowering to the ground. Inhale to up dog, lifting the head and chest, opening through the shoulders. As you exhale, coming to down dog. Inhale to fill with the breath. As you exhale, stepping forward, coming to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, extending through the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the head, chest, and heart. Extend the fingertips up overhead. As you exhale, hands come through heart center, bowing forward, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Heel toe out those feet. Sink the hips down, yogi squat. If you like, you can bring your block underneath your tailbone, coming to a little supported seat here. Bringing hands to heart center, pressing the thumbs into the sternum, bringing the shoulder blades down the back. Breathe here. Taking one deep, full inhale, and as you exhale, side out the mouth. Bringing the palms back to the earth, removing the block. Bring the hips up to the sky, heel toe those feet back into alignment. Plant the palms, step back, plank pose. Exhale, bringing the knees down to the earth. Planting right palm underneath the right shoulder, stepping back with the left foot. Extending left fingertips up to the sky, supported side plank. Finding your expression here. As you exhale, releasing back to that tabletop position, stepping back to plank pose. Inhale for strength, exhale, lowering to the ground. Inhale, coming to an up dog. Exhale, coming to down dog. Taking one more deep, full breath in. As you exhale, stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale to lift, extending through the spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, extending up, arms go overhead. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Taking the opportunity to pause here, to close the eyes or soften the gaze, connecting with any intention you have for your practice, and perhaps coming back to that understanding of the pendulum swinging, but always moving towards union. Even as we move through these postures, through this practice, we will feel through the extremes in the sides of our bodies, in our movements, in our breath. And yet, there is always this element of yoking, of bringing it all together as one, of discovering and exploring our own center. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead. As you exhale, hands come to heart center as you sink the hips down, chair pose. Keeping integrity in the spine, sliding the shoulder blades down the back. If you like, you can shift the weight over to the left, bringing the right ankle on top of the left knee, or just staying in that chair pose. Flexing through that right ankle, see if you can sit those hips down just a little bit deeper. Inhale fully. As you exhale, step the right foot back, keep the back heel lifted, coming to a runner's lunge. You can frame your front foot, or if you like, you can use your blocks to help bring the floor to you and keep some spaciousness in your chest. Inhale here. As you exhale, shift the blocks back and walk yourself around to a wide leg forward fold towards the right edge of your mat. Letting the toes point out to the right side. Letting your palms connect, or you can bring your blocks as well. Inhale for fullness. As you exhale, sink deeper. Inhale here as you begin to walk back around to the front of your mat, lifting through that back heel, coming back to that runner's lunge. As you exhale, ground the back knee, untuck the back toes, plant the palms inside that left leg, and then heel toe that left leg or that left foot so that the heel finds the outer edge of the left side of your mat. The toes come off the mat at an angle. Then getting deep into the hips, we're setting up for lizard here. You can stay right here, or if you like, you can lower to a block or to your forearms. Letting yourself breathe. Particularly breathing into any areas of tension or constriction in the hips, in the body. One more deep, full inhale here. And as you exhale, coming back to prop up on the arms, easing out of the hips, walking that left foot back into alignment. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then walk yourself around to the right side once again. Inhale, grow tall through the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deep. Begin to heel toe the feet closer together till the feet are just a little wider than hip width distance apart. And then sink those hips down, coming into that malasana, that yogi squat. Beautiful. Plant the palms on the ground in front of you, really keeping those hips open, tracking the knees to the upper parts of the tricep, and just shift the weight forward and back. Coming back to that yogi squat, lifting the hips up. Begin to walk the hands around towards the front of your mat, Coming into that shorter stance, you're going to let your left toes point to the front of the mat, right toes point to the front of the mat as the right heel lifts, and then kicking up through the right foot, coming to a standing splits. As you exhale, planting that right foot, coming into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. Sink the hips down, chair pose. Begin to shift the weight to the right if you want to take this deeper. Bring the left ankle to the right knee. Coming into that standing pigeon. One more deep, full inhale. As you exhale, step back with the left toes, coming into that runner's lunge. Inhale fully. As you exhale, walking your way to the left edge of your mat, coming into a wide leg forward fold. Inhale fully, straightening through the spine. Exhale, folding. Bring the right toes back to the front of the mat, shifting the back heel up, coming back into that runner's lunge, and then grounding the back knee, untucking the back toes. Heel toe those right toes off the mat, bringing the hips forward, coming into your lizard on the other side. Feeling free to stay here or take it deeper. Connecting with the flow of your breath here. Noticing your fullness. Taking one more deep, full inhalation. As you exhale, beginning to prop back up onto the hands. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, coming into that runner's lunge, heel toeing that right foot back in. Then as you're ready, walking yourself around to that wide leg forward fold. Heel toe the feet in, sink those hips down, Malasana, yogi squat. Planting the palms on the ground in front of you. Bring those knees onto your triceps. Just begin to shift the weight forward and shift the weight back. Noticing how your body is held here and what parts of your feet and your palms connect to the earth. As you exhale, lifting the hips back up to the sky, beginning to walk around towards the top of your mat, kicking up with the back leg, standing splits. As you exhale, planting that left foot forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect overhead. Exhale, hands come to heart center. I'm going to move a little bit quicker this time. Shift the hips down, chair pose. Bring the weight to the left. Right ankle comes onto left knee. As you exhale, taking a big step back, runner's lunge, planting your palms on the earth or coming to your blocks. Planting the right palm inside the left foot, extend left fingertips up to the sky, twist. Inhale, reach with those left fingers. As you exhale, frame that front foot. Then walk your way around to that wide leg forward fold. Pull the low belly to the spine. Begin to bring the chest up. Inhale, extend arms overhead. As you exhale, hands come to clasp at the low back. Drawing down through the hands, opening through the chest. As you exhale, forward fold. Releasing the bind if it's too much. As you exhale, releasing the bind. Begin to walk around towards the top of the mat, lifting through the back heel. Plant the palms, step back, plank pose. Inhale for strength. Exhale, lowering those knees back to the mat. Planting the left palm under the left shoulder, stepping back, opening to that supported side plank. As you exhale, coming back to that tabletop position, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, lift and begin to stack and open the right hip. Flexing through that right foot, tracking that right heel to the right glute. As you exhale, take a big step forward with that right foot. Then the left foot comes forward, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Sink the hips down, chair pose. If you like, you can bring the weight to the right, bring the left foot onto the right knee. Sink those hips down. Your next exhale, taking a big step back with that left foot, keeping the left heel lifted. Bring your palms down. Plant the left palm inside the right foot, extend right fingertips up to the sky. You can also drop the back knee if you need some extra support. As you exhale, coming back to that runner's lunge. Begin to walk your way around to that wide leg forward fold. Pull the low belly into the spine, lifting through the hips, extend arms overhead. As you exhale, hands come to clasp, opposite thumb on top this time. Drawing down through the hands, opening through the chest. Inhale to fill. Exhale, folding forward. Releasing the bind if it's too much. With your next exhale, releasing the hands back to the mat. Begin to walk your way around to the top of your mat. Lifting up through the back heel. Plant the palms. Step back, plank pose. Then bring the knees to your mat. Plant the right palm under the right shoulder. Step the left foot back, opening to that supported side plank. Lifting your hips to the sky. As you exhale, coming back to that tabletop position. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, coming to your downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting through the left foot, stack and open through the left hip. Stepping forward with the left foot, then with the right foot. Coming to that forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. So we're going to play a little bit with crow setup and into crow if you're interested. But first, take a moment here to close your eyes, to bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. And to connect with yourself right where you are. To feel that connection to the roots of your spine, to your central nervous system, to that deeper, wider center of being within you. That center of you, no matter where the pendulum may swing right now. Know that you are here and now. Fluttering the eyes open, inhale, circling the arms up overhead. As you exhale, hands come to heart center, heel toe out through the feet, pointing through the toes. As you exhale, sinking the hips down into that yogi squat. So you can use your blocks here or have them handy if you want some extra support. But what we're going to do is plant your palms on the mat in front of you, letting the fingers go very wide. And play first with just shifting your weight into your palms and strengthening through the forearm. So as we widen through the hands and grip through the pads of the fingers, we create strength from the palms of our hands up through our forearms and into the upper arms and shoulder girdle. So letting the fingers go wide, letting the finger pads grip into your mat, lift up slightly through your hips, Narrow through your feet and bring your knees to your upper triceps. Begin to shift the weight forward, really keeping the integrity and the placement of your arms and your shoulders. And release the weight. Maybe shifting from side to side. Setting up yet again, bringing those knees to the upper triceps, shifting the weight forward, letting your arms and hands hold you, lifting up one toe at a time if you like. Playing with your crow. And shifting the weight back. Bring the hips back up to the sky, heel toe the feet in. Inhale to halfway lift, really growing through the spine, extending through the chest. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, lift up, reach up, palms connect. Exhale, hands come to heart center. And as you exhale, once again, release your hands to either side. Just going to play with some fluidity of movement here, given all of that added tension to the shoulders and the chest. So letting your arms have some fluidity, twist your whole body to the right, let the arms follow. Twist your whole body to the left, let the arms follow. And then create inhale, exhale. Inhale to the right, exhale to the left. Just letting yourself move and flow. Releasing that movement. This time we're going to inhale to the left, exhale to the right. Feeling where the arms naturally connect with the body again. Taking one deep, full breath in, and as you exhale, sigh it out the mouth. Releasing that movement. We're going to set up for a final series on our mats on our back. Once again, you can have the blanket underneath to support your hips. You may also want anything that needs to support your Shavasana, your final resting pose once we get there. But bringing yourself down to your back, gently lowering, letting the spine connect with the earth, sliding the shoulder blades down the back, opening through the chest, hugging the knees in. Once again, drawing those big circles with the knees, opening to the left and coming around, filling with the flow of your breath. Switch directions. And releasing the legs long. We're going to turn over onto the belly. Finding yourself onto your mat. Letting the elbows and the forearms come towards the top of your mat, parallel to the short edge of your mat. For your forehead to rest on your hands. As you breathe, feel the fullness of the belly as it presses into the mat. And as you exhale, just release and let go. 2 more rounds of breath, just like that. Letting the inhalation be full. Letting the exhalation be long. With your next exhale, plant the right palm out to the right side as far as your arm and palm will go. Plant the left palm underneath the left shoulder and bend that 90 degrees in the left knee. Bringing the left sole of the foot towards the sky. Begin to press through that left arm, opening to the left, letting that left leg come around and kickstand as you open through that right shoulder, letting right temple find the earth. Letting the breath fill you, letting the breath release. Inviting yourself to soften in any areas of tension or constriction. One more deep, full inhalation. And as you exhale, gently coming back onto the belly, shifting the right hand under the right shoulder, extending out through the left palm, bending through the right knee. Begin to open to the right, extending the chest open. Softening in the jaw. One more deep, full breath in. And as you exhale, gently coming back to the belly. Bring your palms back underneath the shoulders. We're just going to turn around, shifting back onto the back. Bringing yourself onto your mat. Extending the legs long, letting the feet splay open. Sliding each shoulder blade down the back, opening through the chest and the heart. Bringing the arms wide by your side, palms facing the sky. In this final resting posture, we allow ourselves to release from the conscious efforting of the breath and the body. To have a space where we can be as we are. To let the breath flow naturally. To let ourselves integrate and receive. To let ourselves be as we feel that center, that place of union within. again, I invite you to connect to the wave of your breath, the rhythm and the presence of your heartbeat. Inhale, feeling yourself being infilled as you open and expand with the breath. As you exhale, letting yourself feel held and supported and whole. With your next exhale, extend the arms overhead and really feel that depth and spaciousness from the soles of your feet through to your fingertips. Gently wiggling through the fingers, rolling through the feet, articulating through the ankles, pointing through the toes. And as you exhale, hugging the knees into the chest once again. Drawing those big circles, two in one direction, and then switching and reversing for two. Rocking a little from side to side, feeling your sacrum rooted to the earth. Eventually allowing yourself to fall over to a side of your choice. Pausing there, breathing. In this posture of rebirth, we are reminded that we begin again in every breath. With choice, with sovereignty, with wholeness. Your next exhale, bringing yourself back to seated in whatever way serves you. Bringing your palms to connect in front of your heart. Left palm in union with right palm. Thumbs pressing into the sternum, sternum pressing into the thumbs. Slight tuck of your chin as you bow towards your heart. Letting yourself know and trust that no matter what extremes you find within your body, within your life, within your community, within the world, we are still moving towards union, that intrinsic wholeness and connection underneath it all. And we can set aside that need to have it all figured out, to be the one, perhaps even shouldered with the responsibility to make it all happen. And simply let go in the trust and faith that it's already unfolding. Namaste in its simplest form means the light in me honors and acknowledges the light in you. Bringing thumbs to third eye center between the eyebrows and the forehead, bowing forward to seal your practice. Namaste. Thank you, dear ones. I hope you have a beautiful evening. Come back and practice again with us soon. Let us know how you're creating impact in your community. We'll see you soon.